Got it. Hi, Susie. Hi, Susie. Okay, so we have Angela's in a car. Megan, you must be in a car too. She's on mute, or else she's got screaming kids in the background. So I'm so glad that you guys were able to come. And for those of you that aren't able to come, hopefully you'll listen to the recording. So today is October 18th. This is the Francis Downline Director Leader Call. And wow, I am just spinning with excitement from last month, you guys. I just got back from executive seminar. It's been pretty crazy month in my life. Lots of exciting things happening, few not so exciting things happening, but I'm really, really glad to be back at work and back into the game here because last month was really kind of tough for me. As you know, probably some of you knew, I lost my brother-in-law that we've been from pancreatic cancer, and it's been a long haul with that, and he's at peace now. I really wanted to, number one, thank you to everybody for supporting me in that because it was a little crazy last month, but everybody's doing well and we're moving forward. And so that, and I have to say, I'm really, really, when stuff happens in your life that are just kind of out of control and makes you feel just horrible, this job is such a blessing that I was able to take time off and be there with the people that I really wanted to be with my nieces and nephews and my sister-in-law and Dan at the end of his life. So, say what you want about anything, Shepherd Chef, any other job, but there's not a better job than what we do, you guys. And I truly, truly appreciate it. I mean, there's people, I didn't put it out there a whole lot except to you guys because that was the family's preference, but I just really wanted to say thank you for all you do. Prayers, thoughts, and keeping rolling because if I was in any other job, I wouldn't have been able to be doing that. So I just really appreciate it. Hey, Chantel. Good to see you. So anyway, but the good news is, oh my gosh, last month was rock and rollin' recruiting month for the whole company. 10,000 new recruits, you guys. That's like crazy. So let's go ahead and jump in and start with some recognition. And then I got a few things that I wanted to share with you like from executive conference, kind of where we need to go as a team, I think would be a good idea. I wanted to also share a little bit of something that I'm doing professionally that I think it's needed, and I think it's going to really help you. I want to start also talk a little bit more about the new consultants and getting our 55 new consultants that we recruited last month started strongly, and a little bit about the webinar that some of you were on just a half an hour ago, and what the company is doing for that. Ready? The director retreat, that's, we came up with a date for that. And if we have some more times, I'd love to hear what you guys are doing about bookings with the Quick Cooker. I know some of you are using it like crazy, getting bookings. I also wanted to talk about virtual parties a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can discuss. But anyway, let's start with some recognition because this is for Oh, we have somebody to mute. Let me see here. I don't know whose phone's ringing, but if you could mute, please, that would be awesome. Okay, for September, this is kind of weird because we decided to change our director meeting to the third Thursday of the month. So because of that, realize that this is kind of old recognition, but that's what we decided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of the current month recognition so that we can get some kudos on that too. So anyway, in September, I'm very excited to announce with 2,500 to 3,499, we have Bridget and Robin. Yay, congratulations, girls. Very good. Coming up on the ranks with over 3,500 to 4,999. We had Candace, Lang, and Krista. Yay, good, 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 good. And then with 5,000 and over, holy moly, girlies, this was like huge. Meredith, good for you. You hit $10,418 in 1 month. Meredith rocked it out of the boat. And Chantel, oh my gosh, we're all putting our hands up for Chantel. She's on mute. She can't speak right now, but we are anyway. Chantel, we love you with over $13,260. Blowing it out, mind blowing. So anyway, congratulations on that. What was really very, very exciting, you guys, is that last year we recruited 24 people in September. This year we recruited 55. Isn't that amazing? It's great. Absolutely.
Down in the garage if you want quiet.
I know. Okay. So with the people with one recruit on their team. Okay.
Go lay on the
because she
You need to mute, Carrie.
I got her. Okay. With one person on their team that they added in September was Kathy Zapata, Bobby, yay, Bobby, Candace, Chris Fort, Robin Nelko, Carrie Ryan, and Angela Sweeney. Yay, new people. Megan, you had 2. Megan Nation, congratulations, 2 new gals. I think they're both women. And then 3 or more. Susie Gilliam, bang it, girl, she's coming back. Good job, Susie. Kristen Johansson, 3 people, new team members. I had 5. Whoa, 5, yay. And Chantel, boom, 5. Big 5 for Chantel. And Meredith rolled in with 8 new team members in 1 month. So what do you got?
Oh my gosh.
What do you think about that? Yeah. All right. Come off mute and say, wahoo, everybody, because that's worth a yeah. Woo! Yay.
I want to know what Meredith's been eating. I need some of that.
She's been rocking it, man. Yeah.
She eats that healthy stuff. I'm eating pizza.
Right. So let's see here. So in October, I just wanted to congratulate our October recruiters. The recruiting isn't near what it was in September, so we're going to have to work on that because I'm going to challenge everyone to get at least 2 recruits on your own you personally, and your teams too, because October right now, we have Candace has 1 new team member, and Robin and Bobby also have 1 new team. Oh, right. Candace has 1 new indirect, and no, wait a minute. Candace has 1 new personal team member, and Bobby and Robin also have 1 new personal team member. So congratulations on that. Let's see here. With the first generation director teams last month, that we got paid as an executive team. That was good. So congratulations to our first generation directors, Candace, Chantel, Bobby, Eileen, Chris, Krista, and Meredith for getting paid at your level. Very good, at the green level. And then the second generation directors was Robin and Angela. Good for you guys. Keep it going. Good. Nancy, I had 4 recruits. Eileen, did I not say you? Geez, Eileen, what is it with Eileen had 4 recruits in September. You're gonna Eileen.
Fist bump.
How did I miss you, Eileen? Seems like I always miss you and I love you. Oh. I have to work better at that. Eileen had 4 recruits in September too. All 4 burners. We had Candace and Robin in September. Congratulations, that's a balanced team. We didn't have any anniversaries in September of 5, 10, or 15 years or more. And we didn't have any promotions, and we didn't have any career milestones. So, and I just wanted to recognize, we all love you, Eileen. Yes, we do. That was from Bobby. October, there's 2 director teams that are already green, 3 actually, Meredith, Chantel's, and Nancy's. So congratulations for being green by today. Yay. Okay, so let's see here. Lots happening. It is the middle of October. New products out, new cookers, we're bookings and everything. Things are happening, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we had set last year as a recruiting goal. You know, that share the love board that we did, our house. Well, in the beginning of last year, from January to July, we set an organizational recruiting goal for 175 people. And I'm very happy to say that we brought in 118. So no, we didn't hit our goal, but we did change 118 people's lives and offer this business. And I think that's awesome. So I wanted to congratulate you guys for that. And I also really wanted to say that when I went to executive seminar, it was amazing because there were some executive directors that are like rocking, executive director teams that are rocking the Pampered Chef world. We had one guy named Steve Draplowski, who just was a director in January and became an executive director at conference in July. I mean, unbelievably. all virtual. He does all virtual. He was working full time and he just quit his job. I was sitting next to him and he quit yesterday, the day before. So really, truly amazing. And he's making income like he's never had before. It allowed him to quit his full-time job. There were I think we had about 8 people present different things that they were doing to really change their whole organizations and change how they were recruiting, or not even change, just doing it in a different way. It seemed like there were other executive directors that have been around the block for a long time, like myself and lots more of us, that were in awe of a lot of this and are really trying to keep up with it all. And then there were some others that are just kind of like, well, yay, we keep on going. So the team, the home office really did a wonderful, wonderful job at executive seminar. And they focused on John Maxwell's 15, I don't know if you guys have ever read this here. Have you ever seen this book? It's John Maxwell's The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Bridget's shaking her head. Have you read it, Bridget? Yeah. Okay, she's saying yes. Excellent. So what they did is they asked several things. They asked, I think there were 8 of these executives that were doing really quite well in different things, in different areas of their business, in different walks of life with their business. Some of them were with us for 21 years, and like Steve was with us 1 year. There was one gal that became the executive director. I mean, it was just incredible. So within a year. So there's potential for all of us, every one of you, if that is your goal, to become an executive or whatever it is, to become an advanced director, a senior director. But I think we really have to embrace the whole virtual stuff as well as the cooking shows. And I know our team did we're really trying to do it, but we need to put systems in place. And then after really hearing these people talk, especially Julie Ritter, because Julie Ritter was an executive. She lost her executive director title. And her law was the law of pain, that you have to take painful experiences and gain from them. So a lot of us got a lot from what Julie was saying. I was really impressed with her. And she said what she had to do was really change what she was doing all those years and really get good at the virtual world with her team members and lead them to what works. And learning the ins and outs of how to do a virtual party. And really, when I stop and think about it, our team has been amazing. You guys are amazing. You're good. Number 1, you're good friends. That's important to me. Number 2, we're great sellers. Number 3, our team works together and it's really special. And number 4, it frustrates me when you guys aren't getting what you want. And it really does. And I feel like I am not leading in total transparency the best that I could be leading, like I led maybe 7 years ago. And some of you have been around. And I'm not blaming myself, I'm just being transparent. There's things about, I've been working really hard to learn how to do virtual parties, and I feel like I'm pretty decent at it now because I've spent the last maybe 6 months doing that with lots of frustration. But Julie had the same issue. And she just dug into it and said, darn it, our team can do this. And she did. And I was so inspired by her. And, basically, I think we tried doing this probably about a year ago when we all rallied together. We did well, then we kind of lost the momentum. And now it just seems like a huge task sometimes. But there's no reason why we can't redo it again, because now the company finally has all the tools that we can do it with. And Bridget was just on that call. But what they did, they kind of, the nationwide leader call, the webinar that they just had 3 of our national executive directors, and one of them being Julie Ritter, explaining how to onboard new consultants virtually. Because a lot of people want, all those 55 people that we joined, most of them, not all of them, but probably, I don't know because I don't have the number, but they found that a lot of those people did not buy the $29 kit. So a lot of them bought the bigger kit, but most of them did buy the $29 kit. So that means they don't have any products unless they were comebacks, okay? Which means they're doing this for a virtual reason. And it seems like I think we need to be better at getting virtual parties on our calendars, because I'm hearing, that, cooking shows are where the gravy is, but it's also really easy to get virtual ones. So I think our team needs more work on that. And we've got some really talented people on this, and I think that we could really knock it out of the ballpark. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? What do you think that we really need to do as a team? So I'm going to be quiet and open it up to you. Feel free to talk.
Nancy, is there, I was on the call too. I thought it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way, I know there are all those screenshots of what to do. Do you know if there's any way they're going to like just give us that information so we can all have it? Or they're going to incorporate those, what was it, 13 steps of the first phone call for us so it's available for everybody?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Nationwide Leaders Call, where it's going to be on Director Success next week, that whole webinar. You didn't see it. Okay? And then,
Right, but to get the information, so if you could go back to home office, I thought what was great, but can they incorporate those steps that those women have incorporated that are so successful? Put it in PC University or put it in our leader training so we can have access to it. Because yes, those of us who are on it, and that's great, but not everybody is going to take the time to screenshot every single one of those that have the step-by-step questions, because that's why it was working. And they have the script, so are they going to give us the information? I mean, I'll listen to the call again, but I'd love to have that checklist available.
Bridget?
I mean, unless I've missed something, I do use the system that Love and Becky Ishii, you know, the thing they were referring to and what they were covering today. You know, honestly, I mean, it's not that different from what's already there. And the getting started stuff that we used, there were just a couple of new, some new verbiage, a couple of new things that they said. You know, and I wrote them down actually because I know the getting started thing pretty well. I wrote down just a couple of the things that were different, but really it's already all there in the getting started stuff, with the exception of the bit about encouraging new consultants right away to Facebook message all of their friends that 48-hour challenge. And with the goal of sending 30 messages a day. So that's not anywhere in the materials, but that was one of the things. This is in the material as well, but it was more highlighted in this call. It's already there, but highlighted, which was to set the expectation for now. I think they were highlighting that because I think that's where a lot of consultants fall through the cracks. Their new consultants are surprised how many no's they get, and then they just drop off. So
Right.
One of the things they highlighted. And then the other thing that I heard for the first time was on these virtual party launches, mentioning the actual concrete number of inviting 100 to 200 guests. That's not anywhere in the materials. But that's really all of the brand new stuff outside of what Stacey Grunwald has done in creating the brand new Getting Started checklist, which is going to be posted in PC University as a separate thing. But there wasn't anything, right? And Nancy, am I wrong about that? That there wasn't anything brandy new other than that?
There wasn't anything really new, but what I found it's interesting, and speak up if you'd like, is that there were certain things, like I've been doing all of that, and we've trained all of that, but I wasn't telling people to get 100 to 200 people in that group. I'm telling them 50. No wonder I'm having, like, you know, diddly whittly virtual parties, you know, and I'm telling, you know, the other thing that new consultants, getting them started. You know, I love how Becky Ishii said, if you're going to do virtual parties, you want to schedule 4 virtual parties a week. That's going to give you about, what did she say, about $500 a month, I believe. So she was very specific, just like we do with regular consultants. They did it in the virtual way, which I didn't know those numbers. So, but that's what these new executives are doing. And even to get them started with a virtual launch party, A lot of them are starting on Monday and going through Friday. You know, that kind of thing. So I've been doing Wednesdays to Sundays. So I'm not saying that's yes or no, but it's been, there was a lot more like just what Bridget said, a lot more of the little intricate steps to get people started strong without trying to figure it all out. I guess that's my thing.
Yeah, I guess, Nancy, that's where I was coming from, because I absolutely agree with you, Bridget. It wasn't rocket science, brand new information, but they took what we had and they updated it. So I guess that, and it's like what you just said, Nancy, it's those numbers, it's that information where we have it right now, right? But I guess I love to see if they're going to put that. So I understood that they were going to put, what I misunderstood then, Bridget, was that the information that they're now updating, that they're sending to brand new consultants to give them more step-by-step of the getting started is you get bookings before you do that customer care. You're not skipping. And they're putting those links in that are going to make it much easier for these new consultants to go to where the training is. So, and I think that's wonderful. I know that was coming, but I guess I just really liked how they had those numbered and it was so specific and they were short. And I could see, because I've done the Love one too as well, but I would love to see this where it's on PCU. So as we're bringing in new directors,
Well,
in team leaders, it's there.
Right.
That's, I guess, where I was coming from.
It's going to be, if you listen to the call, all of that is going to be in the Pampered Show. It's on new.
Okay, I guess I missed that because I did listen to the whole call.
So it's really good. So what I'm saying is that as a team, I think what I've decided to do is that we had a speaker at Executive Conference. Her name is Becky Spike. And she is, I don't know, you guys, John Maxwell, has anybody read any of his books at all? John Maxwell. Big time leader. I mean, he's like one of the up there, like Stephen Covey. I love his books. But anyway, she gave us a really good training. She was an outside speaker on leadership. She's been with, in a direct selling company. She's been doing this for like 23 years, very well renowned, and she does private coaching. So she offered her coaching to our executive team, and we had to buy it. Actually, we use our professional development for it. It won't cover the whole cost, but there were two different sessions. There's one 8-month session, and then there was one, I think it was just like a 3-month session weekly. But I decided to do the 8-month session, and I'm going to do coaching with Becky. And there's a whole group of the executive directors that are going to do it together, so that I can learn better on how to make a business plan, how to look at our team more, how to keep us more goal-oriented. And those are the things that I see that's really going to help me, help you, that I can teach you then to be better leaders and to lead your teams and get what you want out of the business. Because I know there's people in here that want to be executive directors. I know there's people in here that need to pay their mortgage. I know there's people in here that need retirement money and everything in between. Okay, so if we work together, I see great growth in the company, and it was so inspiring to see all that was going on with that. And it's not like that we haven't been doing anything, and we're still a great executive team. But if we don't keep on growing, we've lost directors over the year, and you guys know it. Bobby and I were talking about that. I mean, we're eventually not going to be an executive team if we don't start developing directors in our personal generation and starting to develop. So one of the things that they really, I see loud and clear is that we have to make sure to set our goals and hold each other accountable to our own personal sales goals and recruiting goals, because it's all about that, and promotion goals, and keep it in front of them. And it's not something that I've done expertly, truthfully. And that's one of the things that Julie said that really helped. So I need help in that. So I'm going to coach with Becky, as well as other people, and that's going to be one of my things. So one of the things that I want to do is, now that we set last year, we set a half-month recruiting goal. It was 175 people, and that was based on what you told me in the beginning of the year, what you guys wanted for your own personal team and personal business and your team goals, both selling and recruiting and promotion. And like I said, we got 118 out of 175. That's not bad, and I'm really excited about that. But we should be able to hit that goal and even grow more. So we're going to need to set another goal for the end of the year, October and November, well, actually November and December, and really come up with some good, solid goals so that we hit 2018 with a strong organizational recruiting goal and a sales goal, and a promotion goal. Because if we really use the rest of this year to get that down, then 2018 will come in really strong. And I know that we can do it. So what do you think? Are you guys willing to really work to set goals that you are willing to work at them? Who is? Put your hands up, please, or say, come off of mute. Come off of mute. Who's saying it?
I'm willing to work.
Okay, Susie is. Bridget says yes.
We're all willing to work.
Carrie raised her hand. I see Eileen raising her hand. How about the rest of you guys? I see Lynn raising her hand. We love you, Lynn. All right. I don't know where Megan and Chantel are, but I have there's Carrie's hand up. She actually raised it. That's cool. So anyway, what I'd like to do is
I'm starting because I just checked my email and I have a new team member that I don't even know. I've never talked to. That's how they always come, all of a sudden.
And you know what? I just checked my email and I'm doing this virtual party, and it just started yesterday. But I noticed these two people that are kind of participating in it, and both of them, I put this new thing here, make a wish list and send it to me, get more points or whatever. Two of those people put a wish list. I just saw it. Two of them, and they're this long. I mean, grill pan, all sorts of stuff. That's how we're going to get the recruits, guys. That's what's happening. So it's just a matter of we got to keep on going. We got to keep on the momentum. So there's lots of good stuff out there, and there's no reason why all of us can't be jumping on it, because it's out there for the taking. There's people that are winning it. So what I'm going to do is I would like to, Eileen made a comment. I think it was Eileen was talking about it would be nice if we did kind of small groups. We keep each other held accountable. So what I'm going to do is, instead of calling each of you about your goals, I'm going to task you to really think and come up with and if you need to use the 90-day, 3-month action plan, you can do that. But I want you to come up with a personal recruiting goal for November and December, and a team recruiting goal for November and December. All right? And then I would like to, and also working on a promotion goal, and come up with that too, so that we really know what we're trying to do here, and that we can keep it in front of everybody in a fun and easy way. But the other thing that I found, that goal has to be big, bold, and really super scary. Like, don't make it comfortable, make it big, bold, and scary. Because if you don't stretch, you're not going to get anywhere. And the people that were really growing had big, scary goals. And then guess what? Some of them were able to not be scared anymore because they hit them, and they had to really up them even from that. So a big, scary goal is what we need. And when do you want that promotion? What's that look like to you? So that we can really bring more directors and more leaders into our team and have more excitement. So let's see here. What I'd like to do is, by doing this in November and December, we finish 18 strong in a good way, feeling good going into 2019 ready with a plan of attack. I think that would be great. And I think what I'd like to do, because for a while I was doing one-on-one director calls and they kind of disappeared, and I do it with some people and some people rather not, or whatever. So what I'd like to do is kind of do small group director calls. And I'm going to put out 3 different times next week. And I'm going to have you ask that you look at your performance tracker. And I'm going to do this for my first generation directors. And then you should be doing if you have downline directors like Chantel and Candace and Meredith, then you do the same for your directors. Because one of the things that I've identified is that I need to empower our advanced directors and our directors that have directors under them to lead more. Not that you're not, but I think I'm stepping in too much. I'm taking away, your ownership of your team. And I don't want that. That's not what it's about. So I'm going to ask to go ahead and do a small group call for all of our first generation directors and talk about goal setting and look who's in your team and see what we could do inside that. I would like to do it next week, and I have 3 different times available. If you could write these down, and then what I'll do is I'll put them in. I was going to do like a Sign Up Genius, but that's too much work. I'll just stick it in the Francis Team Director page. And the one is going to be Wednesday the 24th at 11, Wednesday the 24th at 1, and Thursday the 25th at 2:30. So if you guys please check the director. Yeah.
Can you repeat that again? The 24th at 12.
Yeah. The Wednesday the 24th at 11, Wednesday the 24th at 1, and Thursday the 25th at 2:30. And that way, all the first generation directors just sign up for a time, and we'll do it in groups so that we can kind of go over this together, and and just really talk over our goals. Okay, is that okay with everybody? Yep. All right. Excellent. And I have my first coaching appointment with Becky on the 23rd. So that's why I made it a little bit later, because I'll probably get some inspiration from her that I can share too. But seriously, you guys, Pampered Chef is, and I saw the new products. Okay, I know you want to know. Can't tell you. I saw what you got. How many of you are on the mid-season? I mean, the January product, the 750. Good for you, Eileen and Susie. I see hands. Bridget, me, Bobby. So anyway, I saw what it is. It's really cool. I saw both of them. And the new products are very innovative and they're wonderful. So there's good stuff coming down the line. We just have to stay current and move forward, because you know what? It doesn't feel good moving backward. I don't like the feeling. And I want to stay current. I want to make sure that I'm still changing people's lives. And so that's why I'm really going to invest hard in myself and my self-improvement this year. And I hope that you guys can follow along and be moving forward with us. Okay.
I want to stay current too, but I hope they have them available to sell when they introduce them, like the straws.
Yeah. Oh, now that whole thing with the straws, I know Stacy started our exec seminar with, all right, there were some major glitches. And the reason why, you guys all know what happened there on the back end. Hopefully you watched her. If you didn't watch Director of Success, you need to watch it, because it was a huge undertaking that they took to update all of our back end on the website. And she was explaining to us that when Amazon, and I think it was, there was another one, they lost millions of dollars when they did theirs, because it's a huge process and a lot of little things can go wrong. So some of these other big companies lost millions of dollars when they did this. And ours was in the form of straws, double charging credit cards, and it was not good. Nobody said it was good. But in the grand scheme of things, it could have been worse. And it really was actually pretty darn good compared to what they did to keep us up with the technology. So there's going to be things that happen. There's going to be hiccups. But all in all, I have to say in the last 3 years, I've seen huge improvements. And I only see, you know, and I think as long as we're transparent and they let us know why, then we just kind of have to go with it, because nobody's perfect. And if you want more detail, that was, Tracy did a whole video on that, and in Director of Success on what happened. And she's also going to put it's on, I think it's on Consultant Corner too, but I wasn't quite sure how to get to it with the URL. So anyway, I know it was frustrating, but it is what it is. You can either cry about it or move forward. It's like getting, you know, that's all we can do. But from it, we got a much better platform that we'll be able to build. So, is that okay? Everybody have any more questions about that?
I understand about the platform. I don't understand what that had to do with them not having enough straws to ship out.
Now, I don't know Bobby, I didn't
It's
even.
a separate thing.
Okay. What was
They're
the,
Yeah, and the knives, those little knives. I mean, they're just not keeping up with the demand.
yeah, I guess they.
That's,
own a lot.
that has nothing to do with them doing that tech platform. So that's, kind of bad. So
Well,
With it, Bobby, with the knives in the video that Nancy's talking about,
Uh-huh.
Tracy said that we sold 10 times as many of the new little quick Perry knives in the month of September
mhm,
than we sold in any given month
right.
in 2017. So we
we blew it.
blew it out, and she literally
And
commented.
I have no doubt about that, but you know what I think a lot of it is? I think it's consultants buying them.
Could be too. And I think
Consultants are buying multiple, we're selling to customers, but I think a lot of it is the consultants are
Interesting.
stocking up on them.
I do too,
And
because so
hopefully
many
the same thing
consultants
is wrong.
want to have, what do you call it, cash and carry for
Yeah.
vendor events. And so
Mhm.
anything that's little like that, I mean, I've seen it all over the place. People keep, pre-ordering or taking orders in bulk for all of these things. So I think you're right. I think that did contribute.
Yeah, I think it's the consultant that's causing all that.
I mean, so how can the company control that? I mean, you don't know. And really, like
Yeah.
back orders are seldom. So we're pretty thankful for that. I mean, there's always going to be stuff like that. It's just the way it's going to be. I mean, you can't predict. They try the best they can. So a little bit more, I wanted to mention a few more things. So make sure that you sign up, first generation directors, sign up with a time to talk, and we'll do these small groups. Hopefully we can get about three people in each one, 3 or 4. And if any of those times don't work for you, let me know and we'll figure something out, obviously. And Eileen's getting a kiss from her husband.
Hey, let's keep it G-rated in there.
New consultants, I'm really going to encourage you guys all to listen to that webinar. If you haven't, the director's webinar, I know Bobby wanted to, but she was out. Because it does explain a lot of those little intricacies. It's like host coaching, you guys, you kind of get the general host coaching, but unless you get in there, there are little specific things that you have to tweak. That's where really the money comes and the recruits come. So that's what I thought that webinar was. It was telling us how to do it with these hosts. The other thing, there was a really good, I didn't listen to it yet. It's in my to-do list, but there was a coffee talk on coaching virtual consultants, not consultants, hosts last Saturday. And that might be something that somebody maybe, I'm going to ask, maybe somebody can listen to that and then report back on that, because I think that's the other key thing, is learning how to coach those virtual hosts really well. Because when they do, they're not all good, but the ones that are good are really good. Like I just had a $1,600 virtual party last month. $1,600. It was great. And then I had a $200 one, and then I had a $188 one. So
what did you do differently? Did you do anything differently?
Well, that host was really into it, and I was back and forth with her.
Yeah.
But what I was doing here, I'm going to tell you one thing that I wasn't doing, is I'm telling them we want 50 people in the group so that you can get 20. At first I was saying 30 so that 15 would actually interact and buy. Well, that's not going to happen. I mean, these people are getting 100 in the group to personal message 40 and then get the other. So I wasn't looking at the volume. So had I coached right, I bet they would have been better, because that other girl, she just went ahead and got them in the group. And there were about, I think she had like 80 in there. So it was a difference. That's one thing that I'm doing wrong. I can see it very blatantly. And after I did that, I'm like, oh man. So anyway, I know.
Nancy, I just wanted,
Go ahead.
if I could just share something. I was on Facebook yesterday and I happened across this ad, I guess it was, and it's called the Marketing Academy for Small Business. And they had like a free seminar. So I'll put the link in our group if anybody, because it's free. It's just it was over an hour long, but they even give you like a 5-page worksheet to fill out. And what it was, this girl really gave detailed information about Facebook, and not necessarily so much for virtual parties, but how to sell yourself, how to sell your product, increase your visibility on Facebook. It was really interesting. I took tons of notes, and I'm not really a note taker, but I took all kinds. She gave all kinds of statistics. And then she offered a program, and I signed up for it. It was $179, but I thought, well, I'm going to try and see. And I haven't looked at all the emails. All of a sudden, they're sending all these emails. But my question, and I'll throw this out for the girls, to everybody to think about, it's about saying, and it was geared towards direct sellers. It was geared towards anybody that owns a small business, but more about visibility. That she said, I don't know if anybody boosts their posts or not. I did one time. She said, don't do that. You're wasting money. But this is more about getting an ad. And again, I'll have to get into the training. But I'm thinking, really, we're not. I mean, definitely, we all want sales. We want more visibility on Facebook. But really, I think, in my mind, we're selling ourselves to get hosts, whether virtual or live.
Right.
So I've got to kind of work around that, like how to market that as opposed to just marketing the products.
Right.
So I'll put that link in there, and if anybody's interested, I'd encourage you to at least you can just sign up online and just follow through, and it's a lot. It was a lot of information. By the time it was over, I was like, So I'll be curious to share that with you. Huh?
Who was the person that did it?
Her name was Samantha English, and she's this little young millennial, but she had a lot of information. And like I said, it's the Marketing Academy for Small Business.
Right.
And, all the information she explained about how to target your audience, how to schedule them. It was just interesting, like consumers use 10 apps per day, 79% of them are Facebook. So she was coming up with different Facebook, Instagram. Definitely Facebook is the way to go. They said, everybody's trying to go out into these other platforms, but Facebook grows by 11% every day. I mean, it's just continuing to grow. And the average Facebook user logs in 8 times a day. They refresh 11 to 15 times a day, and they average about 20 minutes per session. So just things like that, like when to get people to see your posts and everything. So, like I said, there was a lot of information. And what she does is she keeps you up on all the changes with Facebook as they happen. As we all know, there's been a lot of that. Yeah. Susie?
Can we glean from you after you take that course? Like,
Yeah.
we could do another Zoom
happy to
chat.
share if they use they use both, all of us, but I'll be sure to share everything that I get from it. It's just, she has the best practices. What isn't working is organic efforts alone, which is just posting and hoping people see it without targeting your audience. So she teaches you how to target the audience. And if you notice, when you go into Facebook and you look, and I won't take much more time, but if you go in and you look at your news feed, and I've never really paid attention to this, usually the second or third post that you see is an ad. And somehow or other, hopefully I will learn from this how to target our audience. People that look at other websites like, what's the Williams-Sonoma website, or any of the cooking websites. You can target those people, and Facebook knows what they see, and if you specifically request them to target those people, those are the ones that's going to show up on.
My third one is an ad from Pampered Chef.
There you go. See? It's creepy.
Thank you so much for that information. And I think what we could do is have like maybe small group learning sessions on this. Why don't we do it? I mean, we could set a time. We have to figure out how we're going to work differently together. You know, because maybe we can just have
Exactly.
one session Zoom calls, because I would love to know more of that. And then, you know, like I
Yeah.
don't know words. Well, maybe somebody can type up the words and we can have them, you know, put it out there for us so that we're all learning together. The other thing that I wanted to do is I did want to talk briefly about the director's retreat. I reached out to some of you guys that have been coming to the retreat for many years, and I came up with a good date. It's because it doesn't really, this year wasn't too hard because of Hawaii and Arizona are in April and May. So we came up with March 8th, 9th, and 10th. And if you want to come in early on the Thursday to hang out or whatever, that's available too. So does that look good for everybody? March 8th, 9th, and 10th? You can comment in the comments or just speak up. I know, I think Eileen said it was good for her and Bobby said it was good for her. Lynn, I think you said yes too, right, Lynn? Yep, got a shaking head. Bridget, we'd love for you guys to come down. Megan, Chantel, Angela, I haven't heard from you guys to see if it's good. Carrie said it's good for her and so did Meredith. So, but one of the things that I was thinking, maybe we can kind of cross-populate this a little bit. I went to, Meredith and Carrie and I went to Linda McGuire's retreat. It was just a weekend thing up in Northern Virginia. And I learned a lot. How about you, Carrie? I don't know if she can come in or not. Carrie, can you come in? Let me see if Carrie can come in. She's nannying right now. But anyway, and I thought that was really great because there was some real success there. So I was thinking with, just so that we're hearing new ideas from people, maybe we could invite, you know, Linda's team to come and join us too, but yet still not getting it too big because of the sleeping situation. So that's a possibility. Do you guys have any opinions on that, feedback on that? Yeah, whatever. Good idea, bad idea. You can always.
It's a wonderful idea. It's just outside my budget. It's just too costly for me to make that trip.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, add some more shows to your calendar, Susie.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. That's true.
I knew she'd say that.
4 virtual shows. That's $400. You know. Okay, so let me see here. That's the retreat.
Or we all need to get Nancy back to a senior exec so we can do reverse travel expenses. You know, that's the other option.
Yeah, because that's why if we're a senior executive team, all those first generation directors get paid, and those they can help you if they choose to do that. I know Chantel's done that for her team. So, but yeah, I would like to get back to senior executive director. And there's no reason why we can't do it, but it is going to take thinking differently and working differently. All right, and then the other thing is I just wanted to leave. I was talking to Julie Aldridge, which is pretty amazing, by the way. She was bragging on our team. Bridget, she was bragging on you. She's bragging on Angela, and she was bragging on Meredith for this business builder. I don't even really know what's going on with business builders, but the 3 of your names were in a big way, like a whoop-de-doo. Congratulations, you guys are amazing. So I just wanted to say that. But he was telling me a lot of people are, I'm just going to put this out there and see who runs with it. Marco Polo is an app that you can connect with people very easily. I don't know, did you ever hear of it? Marco Polo? Okay, somebody needs to research Marco Polo app because she said that's why a lot of these other executives are reaching with people. She also, I played a little trick on you today, and I tried, she said, use 3-way video messenger on Facebook. So I actually put you guys in a message group, at least I think it was just my first generation directors. I put you in a message group, and I sent you a call on Facebook Messenger. Bobby answered the call. She's like, what's
I answered it too.
I was like, what is this?
I answered it too, Nancy. And I was talking and you couldn't hear me.
So I don't even know what.
And they even gave us the option. I don't know, Bridget, if you answered or if you got it, but they gave us the option immediately when I hung up of a survey wanting to know the quality of the call. And that. So I put in there because it was a lot of static feedback, and that was one of the options that I could choose from. So obviously they have been having issues with that. It's something new they're working on.
It's something new, but it's a way that we can communicate with our teams fast and easy. And a lot of people are having small group messengers groups. They're new consultants. I mean, there's tons of things that we could be doing in a different way. So anyway, wait, Julie was telling me about this Marco Polo app and three-way messenger on Facebook.
What is the purpose of the Marco Polo app? What is the,
Text
why would we want to?
Yeah, you could put all your team members in there and send out one app. So everybody, like, apparently, if you guys all download the Marco Polo app, we can talk to each other very quickly in a group.
So it's like a group text?
But it's video too, I believe. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I haven't really explained. She just told me about it yesterday. I said, I don't know anything about it. So I'll throw it out to the directors and see if anybody wants to look into it. But she said people are enjoying it and they're very, they're using it to their advantage. And then the last thing, the director retreat. Booking. Okay, booking ideas. Quick cooker. Quick cooker. We want to hear from you guys. What are you doing in the quick cooker to get bookings at your live shows and virtual shows? What are you doing?
I did the egg roll in a bowl in the skillet and the rice in the quick cooker
Oh, good.
to serve it together. So that way I could show 2 power tools.
Excellent.
How was that received, Bobby? How was it received by your guests?
Oh, they loved it. Everybody loved it. They loved the recipe. My host definitely was getting the quick cooker, and she got the skillet. I got, one possible booking from it, but yeah, I mean, that it worked really well for a demo.
I made homemade bread and brought it to my show.
Oh, that's cool.
So I booked it, and here's how I kept my bread warm, so it came out around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to leave at 5. So to keep it warm, I put the little silicone lid back on top of the quick cooker, and then laid the lid on top. And when I took it out at 6:30, it was still hot. I passed it around the show, and no one could believe my bread had come out at 4 in the afternoon, and after 6:30 in the evening, I had warm bread. And I found out if you take the big entertaining bowl, put it in the bottom of our quick cooker carrier, put a towel in it, stick your quick cooker on top of it. You got to push it a little bit, but you can transport those 2 things together in the quick cooker carrier.
That's awesome.
Wow. Hey, that's a good.
So your bread didn't get soggy?
No, because then when I got to the show, I took
The sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay. But they were like really impressed with me. And, that was kind of fun.
Well, I've made about 5 loaves of bread in that thing, and every time I have made it, I mean, it's delicious, but it raises like way up above and goes over the edge. So when I try to get it out, it's like a mushroom that comes.
Bobby, that's because you're kneading your bread really well. If you knead your bread really well and break down the gluten, that's what's causing it to rise. If you're not breaking that, because the first 2, they were like this high above. This last one, I didn't knead it enough, and it didn't. So you're just a really good bread kneader, and that's a really good thing.
Okay.
That's a good thing. So here's what you can do, Bobby. Put the little stand in the bottom. Don't put the lid on top, right? So then it has that much space to rise, right?
Uh-huh. And
then that way, that's better. You're going to have lighter bread, and you are a good bread maker, and you didn't even know that.
Hey,
I learned that from my expert bread maker, the mom. My mother was a fabulous bread maker.
Thanks, Eileen.
Not.
Megan has a question for us. She's trying the chicken verde tonight. Has anyone done that in the quick cooker? Chicken verde soup.
Oh, I saw, Megan, I saw where you posted that, and I got to thinking, because that chicken verde soup is what we made at the director's retreat, and it's made in the multi-pot. So I wasn't really sure about how you could adapt that to the quick cooker, because like I said, we did make it in the multi-pot, and I didn't eat much of it. If you all remember, whoever came to the director's retreat, it was a little too spicy for me.
Hey, Megan says she's getting a bunch of bookings because of the quick cooker this month. Is there any way you can come in and tell us how you're doing that, Megan? We'd love to hear from you. And Bridget's saying, puts her hands up in a prayer thing, so we'd love to hear it. I don't know where you are. We might hear cows in the background mooing calf suckling on bottles. I don't know if you can. What are you doing, Megan? All right.
Okay.
Here
I
she
had, yeah, I just had to get to a different room, but yeah, as far as the bookings go for the quick cooker is I've personally used that thing every single day to make every single dish except for the oven a few times. And honestly, when I can tell somebody else that I have pretty much only been using that, they are like, okay, I need that. Because when I can tell them that I've personally saved almost the full price of the pot by not going out to eat as a family or whatever, grabbing dinner on the way home, I can say I would have paid full price if I'd have known how much I would be using it and saving money. So for me, I think I'm getting bookings because I have such personal experience using it and stuff, rather than just saying, it's a really cool deal. But just being able to say, no, it's seriously made such a personal difference. I think that's why that's working for me. Now, the hard part is I'm finding that because we're getting towards the end of the month and my calendar and everybody else's is so full, they're switching to virtual, which aren't as strong for me. But because I'm trying to squeeze them in to get it at 60% off, they're wanting to switch to a virtual or a catalog, which is bonus for me, but would have been awesome if we could have gotten a cooking party in November and get it 50. But yeah, no, the quick cookers are doing awesome for me.
And another option, and this depends upon if you want to do this or not, you could try to schedule them in November and let them use it as a half price and maybe offer to pay the 10%. I'm trying to figure out in my mind what that would be, the 10% difference, that they would get.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not that much difference.
Megan,
But
if
then
you
they
can schedule on the first 2 weeks of November, then you can make it an October party and just close it by the 15th.
Yeah.
Right. I try not to let my hosts do that too much because then they'll always want to pick which special they get.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely an option. So if we have to reschedule anything.
Hey, let me ask you guys one other thing. What do you think about, there's all these different things that we can try. And what do you think about just designating a time with a Zoom link that we come in and talk about certain topics? I don't know. Just we schedule a time in the week and say, okay, we're going to talk about, I don't know, how to coach virtual consultants. Virtual hosts. And like Megan, Bridget just said she's going to listen to the team talk, the coffee talk. She comes in, we talk a little bit more about it. Maybe that's what we need to do so that we're kind of learning from each other a little bit better. I don't know. It's just an idea. Or Bobby, she's going to find out all that information. She can relay some more information to us. So it's not just once a month we have a director call. Maybe it's too much. I don't know. But that's an opportunity for us. Or maybe we bring in and do a new consultant, have a half an hour where new consultants can call in and we can talk about how to do successful virtual parties for them.
I think it would have to be a half hour or less.
Yeah, because it seems like we're always, every time we turn around, we have a call to get on.
I don't know. It's just a thought. We have to think about, and hopefully I can find some different ideas. All right. Well, anyway.
But these calls are geared for our downline.
Well, it could be, but we have to come up with some ways of getting people engaged a little bit more in our.
What about a going live just on a certain time of the day or a certain day, so that we're not really committed, but we are still being involved.
Right. That's a good idea. Maybe we can go
in our group. You mean in our directors group?
Yeah.
Directors or team talk or something where you just set aside some time of the week and.
Do we could go live, Megan, on a specific topic?
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, if there was something that you were good at or wanted to talk about.
I think that's great because then, you know, if you go live and like, let's say like Bobby, you're going to take that class, right? And you'll get your information and, you know, it might take you like an hour, but then you can condense it probably into 15 minutes worth of shareable information. Same thing with the coffee talk. I'm going to listen to it for an hour, but I could probably get it down to 10 minutes of what you really want to hear, right? And go live with that so everybody can hear it and benefit from it. You know, that's like, I'm really interested in time efficiency. So, you know, that, you know, why, you know, we all need to listen to the coffee talk if we can get one of us to just, you know, pass that on to us in bite-sized bits, you know.
Whet your appetite. Yep. Okay, you guys, our time is up. I just wanted to say thanks again for everybody. Make sure I'll put these times out on the Francis Downline Director group to sign up. Let me see here. I'm probably gonna have to cover. There's a whole bunch of Eileen, I'll mute you, Eileen. Sorry about that. I'll copy this so I can read all these comments because I wasn't reading it all. Oh, Chantel can't come to the retreat. Chantel, we'll have to bring you in live. She's a rock star. So anyway, we will. So your challenge today is to look at your performance tracker. You guys, your year-end performance tracker, the comparison one at the last tab. Look at what you did last year. Look at what you're doing this year, and really come up with a team recruiting goal, a personal a personal goal for recruiting, a personal goal for your shows, and then a team goal too for your shows, and then your promotion date. And really work on, and for October, November, because then we'll do it again for for January, and then put it out what we want here for October and November. And then we'll celebrate at the end of the year with what we get. So that'd be really exciting, okay? All right, well, thanks everybody. And hey, have a great day. Appreciate all you do. Stay warm. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.